few people are still kind of trickling in, but we're just going to get started here. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the first Can-Do Youth Connect of 2025. My name is Nathan Crow. I'm the National Student Director with Can-Do. I'm also currently working as a senior consultant with KPMG based out of Calgary. But I always like to start any kind of public speaking engagement in my traditional language, which is Blackfoot. So I'll just begin with that. Oki, Nistudaniko, Bunagukyayo. What I basically said is just short greeting, introducing my Blackfoot name, which is Elk Bear. Um, you know, so I am a proud Blackfoot member of the Kainai First Nation located in southern Alberta. But today I'm speaking to you today from Mokinstis, which is also known as Calgary, located in Treaty 7 territory on the traditional lands of the Siksikaate Sitabi, also known as the Blackfoot Confederacy. And as you all know, the reason we're here today is to really kind of reset the Can-Do Youth Connect. We were on a bit of a hiatus there for a while, but really happy that we're continuing on with these sessions. And so I'll just kind of give a quick overview of what the Can-Do Youth Connect is. The Can-Do Youth Connect is a platform to empower Indigenous youth 18 to 35 and allies across Turtle Island to participate virtually and discuss topics such as economic development, lands management, and entrepreneurship. And this all wouldn't be possible, of course, without our amazing staff at Can-Do as well as our sponsors. So I just want to take a moment to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, who are the Starbucks Foundation. And so I just really want to thank them for sponsoring and supporting this important initiative. And I hope everyone on the call today is as excited as I am about today's session, as we have an amazing guest speaker with us today, Saige Arcand. And so Saige, thanks, Saige. So Saige is a proud nehiyaw Iskwew from Kipohtakaw, also known as the Alexander First Nation. She is a certified personal development coach, facilitator, entrepreneur, author, and loving mother, who is fiercely committed to supporting Indigenous women and youth. Saige develops and delivers inspiring workshops through her business, Inspired Iskwew Coaching. She provides teachings and tools to help others create and cultivate empowering life changes. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Saige.
Awesome. Thank you, Nathan. I guess I can skip my introduction. Just kidding. No, but thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I'm very, very grateful to be able to come and to share. And also, yeah, it's my first, I know you mentioned a little bit of a reset, and that's kind of how I'm approaching today's session it's always really nice. I find like the new year is a nice way to kind of reset and reframe and get clear on where we want to go for the year. And that's really what my workshop is about today. And I know I don't have too much time with you, but I'm going to try to share what I can. And also, I will be doing some interactive I guess activity a little bit, so we can utilize the chat if that's okay. But yeah, I do have a PowerPoint, so I'll go into that if you don't mind. And please bear with me, I'm not the greatest at I'm more of an in-person facilitator, but I will do my best with online here. I'm just trying to share my screen. Oh, got it. Okay. Can everyone see my screen, my pink PowerPoint?
Yes, it looks good.
Thank you. But yes, thank you again. It's really an honor to be here, and every time that I'm able to share, I really am so grateful. I always mention in my workshops that I don't ever come knowing everything, and I'm always open to learning and growing myself. So hopefully there's something that resonates with you today. And if there isn't, then that's, a beautiful thing too. But I would love to share with you the Live Inspired workshop. And this is a very condensed workshop specifically for today. Um, it's really, again, like it says on the PowerPoint here, it's really aimed to help improve an individual's sense of self-worth, enhance their self-esteem, and cultivate self-love to live an inspired life. And I know that's a huge, thing to grasp and to go after. And there's many, many layers and tools, but that's the beautiful thing about doing some personal growth, personal development, which is what my business is about. And just finding what works for us and helps us in our journeys. So that's really what today is all about. Um, so I see someone's waiting in the waiting room. Do I admit them or I just, okay.
No, I wouldn't worry about it. We can
Yeah.
let them
Oh,
in
we
in the
got them.
background here.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, thank you. So just a little bit of a refresher. I know Nathan gave me a great introduction, so thank you. Hi, hi. I am from Alexander First Nation, but I did grow up here in Edmonton, Iskwew. I'm trying to learn my language too. So I really appreciated hearing that your introduction in your language. But just to give you a really brief overview of Inspired Iskwew Coaching, which is the business that I created about 6 years ago. Um, it's really inspired by my upbringing and my lived experience. And the reason why I created this business, which really is all about providing teachings and tools, workshops, programming that help ultimately create and cultivate positive life change, is because I used to think about what did little Sage need, what did teenage Sage need, what did just just in general, what kinds of things and tools and teachings and mentorship did I need growing up to help me, get on the path that I always knew that I deserved and desired. So this is really what inspired my business, and I always come from a place of I'm still learning and growing. Again, I just like to put that out there, and everything's always evolving. Everything that I do, it's kind of I take certain parts and then I see what works, and then I keep assessing as I go. But I've been actually in this field, it says 10 years, but my daughter is 14 and I started before she was born. So I'm good 16 years now. So it's been a while. But I'm just really grateful to be able to do, just be able to connect and share with people. That's my passion. And I'll just so I just wanted to do really brief introductions, and I know sometimes just given our time frame today, it's really short. But I was thinking if we could utilize the chat just so I'm aware of maybe who's even in the who's in the space with us today. And these are the three things that I would like to ask is just your name, where are you coming from today? Where are you at? I don't know where everyone's coming from. And then one person, place, or thing that inspires you. So if we could even just utilize the chat and we can just use that as a way of connecting with each other, that would be awesome too. So I'll just give a minute here. I know it's like I mentioned in the very beginning, I'm still learning Zoom. So I'm gonna try my best to do the PowerPoint and watch the chat, but I am here so you could see. Awesome. Oh, Treaty 4. Oh, nice. That's good cheese. Perfect. So yeah, just whenever you feel comfortable, it's also not only just for me, but for us in the space. It's so nice to see where everyone's coming from. Oh, hi, Teresa. Uh, awesome. That's so awesome. Nice to see you. Welcome. And so whenever you have time, just go ahead and I'll be able to look back and throughout the presentation and kind of revisit where we're at. So I did, usually in an in-person workshop, I'll be able to spend some time getting to know each other. And I do appreciate you saying where you're from and even what inspires you, because I think it's so important to take some time to reflect for ourselves on this question. What inspires me as an individual? What kind of lights that fire within me to continue to keep going or to keep, persevering? And I know even just for myself, a lot of my inspiration comes from being a mom. I'm a mom of two daughters and two bonus kids that I have, another son and daughter. So my family inspires me and my community and I'm inspired so much by, our people and the amazing, powerful things that are happening and the change that we see. So that's what really keeps me going. So thank you for inputting your names in the chat. Welcome, Victoria, Nathan, Tara. Awesome. All right, thank you. So nice to meet you virtually. Um, all right. Oh, okay, so this is just a little bit of a PowerPoint kind of setup today. I just really wanted to give a brief explanation. And again, living an inspired life on your own terms. The title of the workshop is the Live Inspired Workshop. I actually created this workshop 3, maybe 4 years ago, and been really grateful to be able to facilitate it across the province, actually across the country. And all it really is a multitude of tools and teachings that might help us in our personal journeys of creating and cultivating positive life change, and whatever that means for you. And that was even a mouthful for me to say, but it really, living an inspired life to me on my own terms is just really finding those things that, ignite that soul fire, those things that lift my spirits, those things that motivate me in life, and, continuing to cultivate those practices. So that's really what today is going to be about. And I had to really condense these things today. So I want to share just basically 3 topics with you, as you can see here, and some tools that come underneath those topics. So 3 tips to create and cultivate an inspired life. And number 1 being the way you think. Number 2 being the way that you speak. And number 3 being the way that you act, or sorry, the action that you take. And actually, this comes from a teaching that my Cookham taught me. And she talks about our thought, the way that we think, the way that we speak, and the way that we act in our lives has power. And, it's really about finding those ways to nurture ourselves in those areas to, live that inspired life. So these teachings really do come from my Cookham, who is also my biggest mentor, Saige Arcand. I'm name dropping, but she raised me. She's a huge inspiration in my life. So just going into the first area, the way that you think. And I really overthink. I'm an overthinker. I blame that on being an Aquarius. But I was like, oh, I want to talk about so much, but I'm trying to condense in these short presentations. But this topic is really all about, some tools that can help us, in the way that we think about ourselves, the way that we think about our surroundings, our experiences, and all of that that shapes us. And the first thing under this topic would be cultivating a healthy mindset, the way that we think. The reason why I talk about this and it's so important to me is because it's a real true testament of something that I've had to overcome and really battle with growing up as a teenager. And I did not have a healthy mindset, and I don't look back and I don't give myself, I don't look back with any anger or anything. It was a learning experience, and it was also learned behaviors and patterns that I had taken on from my parents, or the environments that I grew up in, or the environments that I even put myself in. And so it's all learning. Like, I take all those experiences and I try to think, like, what could have helped me, make better choices, or think healthier about myself. Or even if I had a healthy mindset, I would have made, better choices in certain situations. And again, we've all come from different, upbringings, but probably went through similar things, and it's not a place of, being hard on ourselves, but also it's really just a place of opportunity for learning, just that growth. So the cultivating a healthy mindset is so, so key. And it's something that I had to learn to do. Because again, like it says here, having those learned behaviors and thinking patterns that we grew up with can be hard, but they can be reprogrammed. And there's actual science behind it. I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to go in that in depth, but you can do that research. But another teaching that stuck with me about the mindset, and I heard it from, I can't exactly pinpoint the teacher, so I'm sorry about that, but I did hear it somewhere, and they said that the mind is like a muscle. You have to constantly make it strong. You have to constantly work it out. Like it's like, and if you don't keep working out, what happens? It kind of starts to get weak. So it's really like a lifelong thing that we got to constantly be working on with that mindset to keep it strong, to keep it healthy. And there's ways that we can do to build that muscle and maintain that muscle every day, that mindset. I like this quote: creating a healthy mindset is an investment in your overall well-being. So it's so true. It's really, oh, can I admit this, lady? I'm just someone waiting there. Sorry. So just moving on to the next slide here. And forgive me if I'm going too quick. Please let me know in the chat. I'm just trying to, I guess, be speedy because of the time frame here. Um, but I really like this teaching. And again, just trying to move this thing here. This teaching is really powerful because actually I've heard this teaching I've heard the two canoes teaching, which is similar, but this is one that I felt like I really resonated with, and it's something that I just seen on the net. I don't have the exact author, but it's a old Cherokee man is teaching his grandson about life, and it says, "A fight is going on inside of me," he said to the boy. "It's a terrible fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego." He continued, "But the other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. And the same fight is going on inside of you and inside every other person too." The grandson thought about this for a minute and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" And the old Cherokee man simply replied, "The one you feed." So this one really resonated with me because I find that it's almost like we have like those inner guiding voices. And, if you resonate, maybe I don't know if you want to be interactive in the chat, say yeah, or no, whatever the case may be. But I know for myself, I have those moments where they're kind of conflicting, those inner voices, those two wolves, and it's easy to give into, those the negative and all that. But we do have that choice and that power to feed, the good, the joy, the peace, the hope, the optimism, reframing. And sometimes it's not as easy as we think it might be, but it's possible. And there's ways that we can really help to feed, the optimism, the good. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. Oh, welcome, Caroline. Welcome, Jaden and Michelle. Just didn't want to forget anybody. Um, Okay. And so just to keep moving forward, and if you do have questions, I believe we are doing questions at the end, but please do put it in the chat. So just kind of going back onto that topic of the two wolves, this is actually another teaching that I learned in personal development, and some of the courses that I took is having the inner critic and the inner cheerleader. And the reason why I just briefly touch on this is because it's so, so real, and it's so real for me. And I battle with these thoughts sometimes, and it's normal. We all go through these things, but the amazing and powerful teaching behind it is that we have that power of choice, and we have the ability to shift. when things are, maybe going a little bit more negative, or we have those negative self-thoughts in the way that we think, we do have that power to shift them and reframe them into something that maybe is a learning experience, or helping us grow or learn or see something from a different perspective. So that's what this is really about, that inner critic, that negative inner voice, and that inner cheerleader is that, hey, you know what? We might be in that negative voice when we want to try something new and it's telling us, hey, don't do it. It's too scary, or you might not even do good. Because I had those voices right before this workshop. But you know what? My cheerleader was a little bit more stronger. It's like, you know what? Give it a go. Just have fun. Just speak from your heart. You got this. So that's really where it comes from when I share this, is just that ability and that power to just reframe and shift. And it's all really, again, like that mindset muscle. It's all about practice and continuing to implement these teachings and whatever resonates with you. So again, just in the way that we think and understanding that we do have that ability to shift and reprogram, one of the most powerful things that I have done in my life, and I had shared briefly in the beginning that I didn't grow up with a healthy mindset. I was actually and I speak about this a lot when I have more time with uh participants in sessions and just our community opportunities. I do let people know that it was a actual real challenge for me to get over from a negative to a positive mindset. But I it's like that muscle. I have to keep working at it every day, and I find I'm much better at it nowadays. And I use affirmations as a tool to help me continue to work on that mindset muscle. So I'm sure all of you have seen affirmations in some sort of capacity or practice, but I'm in my office right now. You can't see, but I have them like surrounding my walls. And a part of my business with Inspired Iskwew Coaching is I actually create affirmation cards. I create affirmation stickers, journals, because I am such an advocate and of how much it has changed my life to reframe and reprogram my thinking from, the way that I used to think to, you know what, like this was learning, I'm growing, I'm here, I'm ready for what's to come. And I tried to really think about how I can continue to motivate myself through affirmation. And that's what I try to do through my business. And it's been one of my really, really powerful tools. So I hope that it helps someone out there, or whether you do it or you use them. So today we're just going to put it into practice. A lot of the workshops that I do, I'm not a person, you would think I like to talk because I'm talking a lot, but I'm actually a person that really likes to do hands-on. So I'll talk about something and then I'll ask you to just give it a try, give it a go, immerse yourself in the tool and see how it feels for you. But I know the screen has been up for a little while. And so I'll just quickly skim through. Affirmations are empowering and positive statements that help reprogram your subconscious mind. Specifically, I am, starting with I am, statements reframe and affirm the dialogue that you tell yourself, stories about who you are, who you can be, and what you can do. So if you read these I am affirmations, please take what feels right and what serves your healing, what feels good in your heart and your happiness, and leave the rest, because not every affirmation will feel the same for everybody. And it's really an individual and unique activity, I find. So find what works for you, what mantra, what affirmation really helps you. And so, oh, sorry, I put that slide is not supposed to be there. Skipping this one. So these are just some examples, but hopefully most of you might have a pen or a paper by you. If not, that's okay. We can just speak it out loud and do this practice like just by speaking. It's up to you, but these are some examples that are on the screen of affirmations. And again, you'll read them to yourself, and what feels good as you read it, maybe that's something that, you can jot down or write or even switch it. Make it work for you as an individual. But these are just some that I put up as examples. And I know for me, I use a lot of I am happy, healthy, and healing. I am courageous and confident. And that comes from a place of really trying to motivate myself and reframing, because sometimes I don't always feel confident and courageous. But today, that's my mantra. I'm like confident and courageous, like it's something that I'm trying to build that muscle, and it does help. It got me here with you. So for me, it really does help. So I'm just gonna ask you just to take, a minute or two, whatever, and just jot down, write an affirmation for yourself, just one affirmation. And I mean, if you want to write 5 or 10, go for it. But just for the sake of today and the time that we have together, just go ahead and write one affirmation. And whether you want to write it on something that you have close to you, or again, if you don't, then you can speak it. Or here's another option. If you want to put your affirmation in the chat, that's always nice too, so we can read each other's affirmation. And again, I do share this a lot because it's something that, it really does come from an internal place of self-motivation and empowering ourselves and uplifting ourselves, because we can't always depend on someone else to tell us how um, amazing and confident and courageous we are, even though that feels nice, but it really has to be internally driven and really felt in the heart. So figure out what that affirmation is for you. Again, it's very individual, and what works for you is what works for you. So take some time, a minute or so, and just go ahead and write. And again, I do welcome you using the chat if you can, just so everybody can just so everyone can be a part of the conversation if you like. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue going forward and take as much time as you need if you're writing, and you can just follow along. Again, so I kind of skipped ahead. Actually, this is one of the stickers that I've made. And I've seen a lot of people put them on their phones, and it's always so nice. Like I'll just randomly see not very random, but see someone with the sticker on their phone, my best friend. It's nice just because you have that reminder right in front of you, it's like where you see it every day. So it's so important with affirmations as well. Like I told you, I have them in my office to surround yourself with them. And some cool activities that you can do is you can use sticky notes, which we all know. You can place them in your bathroom mirror, right where you wake up every day, brush your teeth, get ready, and you have those affirmation reminders. Put them in your office, wherever. The options are limitless. So whatever works for you. And truly I love this one because I'm such a I'm such an advocate for affirmations. Like my two girls, I have a 14-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they literally, like, I have a video of my 5-year-old. She's in the mirror and she's like, I'm beautiful, I'm loved, and I'm kind. And so it's sometimes we don't feel like what we say is getting through to our children, but it's more about what we do. And I know they see me actually practice these, and I have them surrounding our home. So it's powerful what we do. They see what we do, right? So again, just that's another really powerful way in how it, like a ripple effect. So I'm just gonna continue on. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or should we save those for the sorry, I'm still navigating this space, so bear with me. But I see the chat is going and probably have some awesome affirmations in there. Constantly growing. Oh, awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, so utilize those however you feels good for you, whatever way you want to use the tool, whether it's speaking, writing, stickers, whatever works for you. I just think they're so powerful. And so now not only is the way that we think, really contributes to cultivating an inspired life, but also the words that we speak. So I have been taught actually various teachings, which on, how our words have power. And so I try to be really mindful about the way that I speak, not only to myself, but to others, and about my life, and, about the things that I can create, So it's really powerful, and I try to remember those teachings. And I'm just as much of a learner as anyone else, and I go through moments where I need reminders too. So, and my 14-year-old's really good at reminding me when I need to be more positive. She's like, Mom, don't you think you should be more positive? So it's a good reminder. So one of the tools that I'm a huge advocate for, which is why I love to speak on it, is having an attitude of gratitude. And this is such a powerful tool in helping us, create healthier habits, healthier ways, and healthier tools in the way that we actually physically speak about things. And I have a little, PowerPoints. I just gave you guys some cool pictures because I feel like it's a lot nicer to look at than just me on the screen. So I really like this one because I could have easily just put point blank of what gratitude is and how it, helps. But this is a really nice diagram and seeing how it really has multiple benefits. And it really does. There's science behind the benefits of gratitude and how it really helps with our brain chemistry, the way that we think, the way that we feel physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in all those areas. And also, like how it says here, socially, it helps us become more compassionate, more understanding, more just greater involvement with the people around us. Just there's so many benefits, and it's such a beautiful practice. Actually, this is a teaching, again, my Cookum talks about, and she does workshops all over, and that's how I came about in doing what I get to do. Is I learned a lot from her, and she talks about the teaching of how, from since time immemorial, people would wake up with the sun and just give gratitude for everything that the sun, the weather, the animals, like really, like there was that practice, and it's been passed down. And then from when the sun goes down, gratitude, and the moon, the stars, like really, like it's such a powerful and healing practice. And there's so many teachings in that area. So I encourage you to really seek out those if that's what you're looking for or resonates with you. But for today, um, we're just gonna go into what having an attitude of gratitude is. And again, just to talk about it is one thing, but to actually give it a go is another. So I'm not sure if you all know, but I do actually have physical gratitude journals that I've created, and they're on Amazon. And it's not a quick it's just a reminder of how much I really truly believe in this. And it's a way that I was able to find what works for me in cultivating gratitude is I actually create like a gratitude list. And so again, this practice can be cultivated in many different ways, and you do what really works for you. But for me, I'm a writer naturally, so I resonated with like doing gratitude lists a long time ago. Like I would just buy the dollar store journals, and man, they have like nice journals nowadays. And I would specifically have one for gratitude. And it just became into a thing where I created my own, and now I have different versions of it. But again, what works for you is what's most important. If just speaking gratitude, driving to work, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, or, doing your morning prayer with gratitude or writing, it's totally up to you. So whatever makes you feel the most, what the most alive, whatever really nurtures you, when you do it, do more of that. But for today, I was hoping that we could at least, again, I'm not entirely sure what everyone has around them, if you have a pen and a paper, but even if you want to just speak it to yourself, that's okay too. But just putting this right into practice, just thinking about 5 things right here in this moment, right now with what we have, the resources that we have, where we are, what's 5 things that you can be grateful for. And it really is a perspective shift too, because I know in the times when I'm not always in a healthy, uh, happy mindset, I literally tend to go either from affirmation or gratitude, and it really helps me just shift and get out of that negative space. and get into a more joyful, I guess, happier space. And it's just a tool. So you kind of see what works for you in those areas and then cultivating that. Um, so I see, oh, Sage, how do we find the journals on Amazon? So typically I believe you could just search up my name. That's probably the best way because there's thousands of gratitude journals. So you would just put my name, Saige Arcand, and they just pop up. So you see which one you like. So I had those kind of ready to go to show you. So they're on Amazon, or like I mentioned before, if you want to go get a nice journal that you love with the cover you love, go seek out one of those. I always love to go journal shopping. I'm cheesy like that. But yeah, you can go do that for yourself, whatever works for you. That's really what it's about. So you're welcome. So again, if you are able to just think about 5 things or write 5 things, that's awesome. I know we're getting short on time because I do want to give some time for questions if you'd like, but hopefully that this practice is something that resonates with you. And again, it's all about cultivating it in the way that feels best for you. So also, and although we're still on the second topic of the way that we speak, the things that we speak, this is such a huge thing, is speaking things into existence. And I really learned this over like hugely over, I think, past like 10 years. I've been really mindful of the way that I speak. And I've taken different courses on law of attraction and, like attracts like. So when we're speaking positivity, we're more likely to attract positivity. We're speaking negative, we're more likely to attract that. That's really, what the law of attraction is. But I really like this quote because it really sums it up for me. And I won't go too into depth with it, but really it's about you are the creator of your destiny. And it starts with your words you speak into your life. Speak positive things into your life, strong things, speak love and happiness into your life, and you'll notice more love and happiness. So really what we're giving is what we're getting is really where I'm trying to go. And this is another teaching again, like I sit and I reflect on everything I talk about. It's things that that have truly helped me in my life and helped me to get to where I am today, be surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by and have, that appreciation for life in general. And so see how it resonates for you and just our words have power. So the last one, just given our time frame again, I'll just jump right into it. The last topic that I wanted to share in ways to cultivate living an inspired life on your own terms is through the actions. We went over the way that you think, the words that you speak, and now the actions that you take. So this is really where it gets fun. This is where we get to discover for ourselves as individuals what works for me and what doesn't, right? And that's okay if you find certain things don't work for you or certain workshops or seminars, but that's the beauty of going and taking that time to learn and to grow for yourself. So I just wanted to share a few things on some of the actions that we can take to, again, cultivate living an inspired life or even just creating positive change for ourselves, whatever that looks like. And again, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, because I know not everything works for everybody. So that's the beauty of the actions that we take. We kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. Here I have some spiritual practices of smudging. For me personally, smudging is, I smudged twice today. I was so nervous. So I did when I first came in and I did again right before we started, but it's a huge spiritual practice for me. It's something my kids do, my babies. So it's part of our lives. Breath work is huge. And this is the one I wanted us to do as a group. So this is so simple. There's so many different breathwork types of I don't know, I guess tools out there. But just for the most simple and quick one for us to try today together is the 4-4-4 method. And all it really is you breathe in for 4 seconds. So just breathe in with me, 4, and hold for 4, and breathe for 4. So doing that while talking wasn't as easy, but you get where I'm going with it. You can try it on your own. If you, again, breath work is really good for mindfulness, connecting to ourselves, being aware of our space, our body, but also it's so good for anxiety. And anxiety is huge. Like I work for Heart Spirit Healing Wellness, and that's like one of our biggest things that we see with people coming in to come see us. And even for myself, I get anxiety. So yeah, it's a huge thing, but breath work helps, spiritual practices, meditation, the power of choice. Again, just choosing, how do we want to feel today? How do we want to show up today? Finding inspiration in our daily lives, in the people that surround us, in the tools that we take in, even as simple as the things that we watch online. And I was off TikTok for like literally over a month, and I just got back on because I have a wedding coming up, so I needed wedding ideas. But it's really like, if the things that you're watching or you're surrounded by are feeding your spirit in a good way, cool, and if you feel good about it. So it's really about that power of choice. And I think finding inspiration goes hand in hand. So find what really inspires you, what things that you listen to, take in, people you're around, all that. And it's a good reminder for me too, because I know I always gotta be mindful of that. Just quickly, I love to do this one in person because I actually get people moving and doing some brainstorming together. So it's much more, this was kind of like a buffer that I put in for today. So I'll just briefly go, the circle of control, just remembering that what we do have control over and what we don't. And that's so powerful because sometimes we could spend all of our good energy on things we just don't have control over, when we could be putting that good energy we do have into things that we do, the people we love, the things that we love, the things that inspire us, the things that nourish our mind, body, spirit. Like, it's just the power of choice. And just understanding, hey, where should I put my energy today, where it will really benefit me, holistically, and my well-being. That's all I really wanted to share in that regard. But this was just another diagram of the things that we do have control over and things that are just out of our control. And a funny one is when I do this with groups, and I'll ask the group, I'm like, so what's out of your control? Give me one example. I swear I hear this one the most. Uh, I'll get chief and council, or, my baby daddy. Like, it's just funny things. Like, and it's so true, right? Like, but it's literally reality, but we spend so much energy on those things. Like, not saying just those two, but it's just funny comments that I get. And to just skim again, sorry, it's going really quick, but just remembering that we have that ability to implement self-care. I was trying to do my own diagram for this because I actually teach self-care. But just remembering, to nourish yourself in all these areas, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally, and finding what works for you in those areas, and setting goals for yourself, things that inspire you, things that motivate you, things that excite you in those areas where it's not feeling like just a chore, but it's something that you genuinely love and resonate with. So I had a slide here on how doing certain things can help build our confidence, which also contributes to us feeling more, showing up and getting out there out of our comfort zone and building our confidence, setting boundaries, celebrating your wins, even if that means you got out of bed today when you didn't want to, things like that. You drank water. Like, for me, I'm going to drink some water after here. I'm going to celebrate that win because I had coffee for lunch. So whatever, just little things like that, helping others when you can, remembering positive self-talk, and just keep showing up. Literally, we're all learning, we're all growing. Just keep showing up as you are. And, it's a learning journey for all of us. Having that self-compassion as we show up, as we learn, as we grow, as we try new things and new tools that work for us, be forgiving to ourselves and kind. Um, Self-compassion is so huge. Like, it's like probably one of the most important things we can give ourselves is that grace as we're moving through life. And just to have some goals. I think, for me, I also do goal setting. So I had to put it in here, but just setting goals that keep us motivated and inspired in life. And as my cookum says, it's like life is like driving, it's like a road map. We kind of have to know where we're going throughout, have some destinations, landmarks, where we want to go. So it helps us get there, right? Otherwise, we're kind of driving around aimlessly. So I don't know if that was the best way to explain it, but for me, it helps me to kind of keep me on a path and to keep continuing to learn to grow. And I had to put this one in there because I was feeling a little feisty yesterday. I was like, think about it, speak about it, and be about it. Like the things that we think about and speak about, but like the actions we take, let's, like put some put some inspired action behind, the things that we want to do and things that we speak about. So I thought it was just a little fun quote. Yeah, just remembering to nourish yourself. So I'm not going to get into the journaling because that's a whole nother topic, but just remembering that journaling is really, really powerful for self empowerment. And I just had some how it improves your overall mental health. But please reach out to me if you ever are curious about any of the things that I did share and you want a little bit more in depth of like especially like I do a whole workshop on journaling. So I didn't want to get into that too much because again, that's another thing that I truly believe in. And yeah, I'm gonna end it there. So thank you for today. I really genuinely appreciated the time and the opportunity to share with you all. So yeah, I just want to say thank you, and I hope it was somewhat helpful or enjoyable, at least. So thank you. Hi, hi.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Sage. I mean, I know we're meeting virtually today, but I just want to say your voice and presence is so powerful, and even though we are virtual, I can really feel and sense your positivity really radiating through the screen and through your words, and I couldn't agree more with everything you said, really, but just around the power of our words and the power of that self-talk, because I know I'm similar to yourself in that I'm an overthinker, overanalyze, and sometimes when you're in your own head and constantly saying negative things, then obviously that manifests into reality, right? So the opposite is also true, which obviously you shared today. And so yeah, just want to say thank you, and you did such a great job. I'm not sure if anybody in the audience has any questions for Sage. And if you don't feel comfortable using your mic, you can also feel free to use the chat as well. So just opening it up for any questions at this time. And I mean, I can start us off. I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of times, even especially being like a few weeks into the new year, some of us may have some resolutions, and oftentimes, at least in my own personal journey, sometimes I'll get so far, and then maybe like a month in, or whatever may happen in my personal life will cause me to maybe stop what I was doing, like maybe it's going to the gym or doing these journaling activities that you discussed. So, do you have any I guess advice for people who come across these personal challenges of wanting to stay healthy, wanting to maintain that positive lifestyle, but then for whatever reason they stop doing it?
Hmm. Oh yeah, and I think like thank you for bringing that up. That's actually a huge thing that I didn't really mention, but even for myself, like I get so motivated and I'm on like journaling, I'm doing all these good things, creating vision boards and exercising, drinking water in the beginning of the new year, and then it kind of slowly starts to dissipate. But what I have learned and what I have actually read in Atomic Habits is that always to put cues, it's like if it's something, for example, like exercising or drinking more water or journaling, I'll use those three. Let's say if those are things that help you and they keep you moving forward, keep you inspired, motivated, all that. It's almost like we have to keep them out in the open. Keep your yoga mat where you see it. Keep your water by your bed. Keep your journal out in the open. Don't tuck them away. I've learned actually like, and I create almost like spaces in my house. I don't care what anyone says. I legit have like my nooks, like, because if I don't see it, it's almost like out of sight, out of mind, right? So it's
Mm,
kind of like we have to create those spaces that motivate us and inspire us. And I don't know if that like truly like if that answers your question fully, but like for myself, even like the working out exercise, like we created a gym just like this new year because I found like, and because we had a stepper and it was upstairs, but we put it downstairs and I didn't use it for like the past couple months. And then I was telling like my husband, I'm like, hey, I need to use that thing. So he actually ended up creating like a put out mats, everything. I use that thing all the time now, going hard. So I guess it's just finding ways that you can kind of create those cues, like those mental cues, like, ah, you can't not see it. It's looking at you, you know what I mean? It's like, so did that answer your question? I'm not.
Yeah, no, 100%, definitely. Uh, with some good tips and tools, I guess we could call them, in kind of when you come across that barrier, right? Because I know today you've shared so many different tools, and I think that's a perfect word for them, right? Because obviously you're not going to use the same one all the time. Maybe that's not
Yeah.
working for you anymore, so then you switch over to whatever, maybe journaling or some of the other tools that you have provided today. So no, for sure, that was a great response, and thank you for that. Definitely something that I'll try to put into practice in my own life for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course. So does anybody? So I know there's a comment here from Carolyn. Just well, you can read it, but yeah, just basically thanking you and
Oh,
kind of
thank
thanking
you.
you for speaking on the topic of burnout, because that's something also I don't know if you've experienced it yourself, but there's been a few instances in the last few years where I have really been facing burnout, and I felt like maybe using some of the tools that you have provided today definitely would have helped with that. So yeah, just thank you again.
Oh, thank you.
I
Of
have a
course.
question. I actually have two questions.
Okay.
Okay. So first question, so I was even speaking to Danielle about this morning. Usually after work where I'm just mentally exhausted. Like I have goals, but it's so
Yeah.
hard for me to get to the gym or even like just get up, go for a walk. I'm mentally exhausted that I sit all day and it's
Mhm.
where a lot of computer work, yes, a lot of emails, a lot of other kinds of work. And then by time home time, I'm too tired to go to the gym, or I'm even too tired to cook sometimes,
Mm,
or I'm just too tired to do anything. And it's kind of affecting like the goals I had for myself.
Yeah.
And so how do you get through something like that, I guess?
Mm. Yeah. You know, honestly, I resonate with you so much. Like even though coming on here and I'm able to share some teachings and tools, not that I don't practice these things, but I
Mhm.
do go through moments like I have to get myself out of slumps, more than you would think. And I've been in those like literally right now. Like I didn't work out for the past like 3 days. So it's kind of like, it's harping on me. But also it's all about that like self-compassion too, and it's really like giving yourself that grace, like, yes, I'm gonna just giving yourself that time and that kindness, like, not being hard on yourself, but also it really is about like just finding that balance. And I know that's such a hard thing because like I'm learning that too now that I work a full-time job, whereas I used to be able to be an entrepreneur and everything on my own time. But
Mhm.
it's really like sometimes you physically have to like schedule in like certain like times to do certain things, like making sure, I'm taking my lunch break here because I work in an office and I sit all day. And sometimes we can just work through lunch, like physically, like getting that phone reminder, like take your lunch or, go outside
mm,
and take some breaths or, instead of going on my phone, it's almost like, maybe today I'm gonna listen to something empowering or a podcast. I don't, it's really unique and I definitely feel you on that. So I guess it's like, I don't know, it's finding ways to kindly find our balance, I guess. And I don't I might not even have like the answer that you're seeking, but
Yeah.
like I know it's something that I search for too in those moments. And I think it's really for me, it just takes a little bit of time and not getting hard on myself when I am, and then allowing myself, you know what, I will get back there. I will get to the gym. I will get to do those things. But right now, my mind, my body, my spirit needs to rest, and it might take so much time, right? So
Mhm.
allowing yourself that grace and like yeah, just and maybe it's finding different things that you thought used to work for you, but now it's like trying something different, out of picking out from something that you normally wouldn't do and finding that inspiration. And maybe it's not going to the gym, but it's turning on a 5-minute yoga or something, I don't know. That's just
Exactly. Like actually I did that this morning for the first time ever. I woke up like
Oh,
at 6:30. Usually I stay in bed till like 7:15.
yeah.
And then I gotta be out of work, but I gotta be out of my house by 7:45. But anyway, yeah, I woke up at 6:30. I'm like just laying there. I'm like, shit, okay. I was on my phone for a little bit and I was like, okay. So I just went downstairs, turned on YouTube on my TV, and I have a big space in my living room. And I just did a 25-minute workout. First time
Oh.
ever. I'm not a morning person, but I just feel like I'm so exhausted in the evenings. And I was like, oh, okay, this is probably why people go so early. At first, it was always such a like, it always makes me feel like crap. But I think I push myself too hard sometimes. But this time I just kind of took it easy and not
Mm-hmm.
so lift so heavy kind of situation. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, I was thinking about this for a little bit. I'm like, okay, I gotta
Awesome.
stop
See,
being
you're doing
tired.
it already.
Yeah, like I was, so yeah, okay. And one quick question, podcast. I started doing that too, but like finding what it is you like or what connects with you. What do you listen to?
Ooh, good question. Right now, what's on my list is so I like listening to Mel Robbins. So she's pretty inspiring but it's so unique, right? Because like sometimes I'll
Yeah.
and I'll hear someone's voice and I'll be like, nope.
Yeah.
So it really is very unique. But I like Cara Alwill. She's I even took her, she's a New York coach. I took her coaching program I think I was in there for 8 months. I paid my own money and I took her coaching program and it
Nice.
really helped me. But and also lastly, I was just looking at my thing here. Um, Good Life Project and Super Soul Sunday by Oprah. Those
Okay.
are some of the
Well,
ones that
I'll
I
check
have
those
like
out.
on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think we have time for just one more question here. There's one in the chat. I'll just read it out just for like the sake of the recording. So, is there any resources or advice that you would recommend for somebody pursuing entrepreneurship but maybe scared to take that first leap?
Oh, good question. Oh, you know what? It really for entrepreneurship, it is scary, right? It's like, you start a business and you just, want to go for it and it's your livelihood, right? But I think the biggest thing is just again, I think these things we talked about today, and I hope, maybe some of them might resonate, but like put in practice those affirmations around entrepreneurship, like really visualize and see yourself like allowing yourself to be a learner and having yourself surrounded by the people, the places, the resources that are going to support your entrepreneurship. Speak those into existence, write them, do vision boards, do some mood boards, like put into practice maybe different tools because you never know what might resonate, but also reach out to people who maybe are doing similar things that you would like to do. And not always, it could be something totally, just other entrepreneurs who are in different fields, but reach out and more likely than not. And this is one thing that I'm so on collaboration this year because I found like I get a lot of people messaging me, but not necessarily like like I think it's more we're more afraid to like ask people things or like reach out because there's like collaboration and competition, whereas
Hmm.
it's all about like really helping. Like don't be afraid, don't have that mindset, like more than likely that person will want to help you versus like, well, why are you reaching out to me kind of thing. Like that's I actually really do appreciate when people reach out and they have a question, and I'm more than happy to answer if I have the answer or maybe help redirect them to someone who might have an answer. But really it's all about reaching out, getting your support system and like doing the tools that help support your confidence and getting over that fear, because that's really, I think, what stops us a lot of the time is that fear, that self-doubt. So put that self-talk into practice. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to be surrounded by the people that I need to succeed. And so I hope that helped in some way. Again, I still learn and grow in these areas too. So yeah, I would just say reach out is probably one of the best things you can do to different people and places. Yeah, hopefully that helped.
No, I mean, I can't really speak for Victoria there, but I mean, definitely that helped myself, and I'm sure it helped everyone else listening. Um, yeah, so I mean, just for the sake of time, I just want to close us off by saying, thank you so much, Sage, for again sharing all of your powerful words, some of your tips, your teachings, and the tools to really get us started in this new year in a positive way. And I think it's really perfect time to kind of focus on this session. So again, thank you for your time today, and yeah, just thank you for your presence, I guess. And before we close off, I want to also one last time thank our sponsors. So it wouldn't be possible, of course, without the Starbucks Foundation's sponsorship and support, as well as the hard work that the Can Do staff team does to put on these initiatives that are really focused on uplifting our youth and really building the capacity around economic development as well as entrepreneurship and mental health and well-being. So with that being said, just thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for all you do. Thank you so much. So it was really great meeting you all. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, see you later.
Okay, see you everyone. Have a good
Okay,
day.
bye now.
Bye.